Hello friends, I am back with my series of SIP where I usually call the some impressive people. The people who can guide us to work in our prospective future, how to deal with the problem we may face in the future, and who can work as a mentor. And in that series of SIP, story of impressive person of igniting power engineers, again, I am with a very great legend. It is more than a legend. And before I invite him, I want to say one thing: to be a legend is not an easy task. You must have passion, compassion, empathy, knowledge, behavior, attitude, and above all, you should have leadership quality. All these qualities are already embedded, or this person is filled with all this quantity I have already mentioned. He is with me. He's a legend who has given BMW to many persons, including myself, at many occasions, because he knows how to bless the works of others that helps anyone to move forward in their life. And I am the one of the examples on that part. And he is not other than respected Honorable PP Weiser. Before I start my conversation, my dialogue with such great personality, I would like to give a brief summary of his life. And finally, the same story will be repeated through respected Honorable Vaisab. He has having experience of more than 53 years experience. He started his career in 1967, and he was in the power industry till 2020. He initially joined PSEB, simultaneously BBMB in May 1969 as assistant engineer, and after that he worked in different capacities as executive engineer, SC, chief engineer for constructions of 220 kV and 400 kV substation, operation and maintenance of 220 and 400 kV substation, maintenance of 400 and 220 kV lines, maintenance of 220 and 400 kV substations. And it is very important and pertinent to mention here that he has worked as a chief engineer, operation and maintenance of prestigious Bhakra Beas power station. And besides getting vital appreciation in CBIP that I am going to explain, he received 18 awards and appreciation letters from BBMB during his tenure for 35 years. Yes, 35 years, it matters a lot. And after serving BBMB for 35 years, and he was called by the chairman of BBMB to work as a consultant, that he accepted and worked there for almost 6 months till half of 2004. And after that, he joined CBIP as advisor. And he was advisor with CBIP till 2007 January. Then a new chapter after his promotion as a director in CBIP in February 2007 started. He served CBIP from 2005 till May 2020 for more than 15 years. And it is very good to announce that during his tenure, he promoted activities of CBIP, SEGRE, and a new identity and fame were earned by CBIP under his leadership only. And he got opportunity of serving Secretary General SEGRE Asia region from 2016 to 2018 also. Now, I would like to welcome respected Honorable Vaisab. Vaisab, thank you for accepting this invitation and welcome to the platform of IPE SIP. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Rajeshji. I'm rather very much thankful to you for inviting me on this platform. I am a very small person, not a big legend, as you have very good words. Nor I'm a super specialist, nor a specialist. Yes, I've been a field engineer all throughout my life. See, the objective was to execute the projects. That was the main thing. See, wherever we worked, try to see that the objectives are met with and accomplished. So before I move forward, I have to say something about you. That if I see back, I find you are the person to be emulated by young engineers. 10 years, if I see back the history, 10 years back, I could see you. You were really striving, working very hard, and you could do very systematically. While you were coming to CBI, you see you progressing so well. And now you accomplish your PhD also, say in earthing systems. I think very few engineers in the country now are having PhD, except earlier my professor, Mr. Arora and Mr. Thapar and other professors they had. But you now are one of the
Thank you very much,
great man.
sir. Sir,
So
I
with
wish to
that,
you
with
to
that,
be
I have got no words for you. And I have to say, yes, you with all your ingenuity, with all your initiative, you started the portal also igniting power engineers, this platform also dialogue. And on this subject, I have to say, you see, before I proceed further, talk about me. Just that Denmark, like you, has started the human libraries. You see, they fix up with the people, they call the people in the library, two persons sit together face to face as we're sitting now. So they have started such libraries in Denmark and to have a better interaction, to have better dissemination of knowledge.
good idea.
So I think other countries they are emulating that example of Denmark. Coming to me now, I take that opportunity. Yes, I started my journey in 1963. I was in Jalandhar, did my pre-engineering, came to Chandigarh in 1963 for completing my BSc engineering, as Mr. Ramachandran had told that he also did the BSc engineering. So likewise, the same manner you see at Chandigarh. This I completed in 1967. And while we completed 67, we were very hopeful we'll get the employment and get good posts, everything. But when we came out to see all my friends and myself, we got really upset because there was a lot of unemployment outside waiting for us in 1967. And then, of course, my home being at Jalandhar, went to my parents. We as friends started going to the Indian coffee house, passing our time because there was no job with us. One day, then my father, he asked me, "What are you doing these days?" Then I told him, "Just, Papa, I'm passing my time in the Indian coffee." They put a very pertinent question. My father has been my mentor. I take him as God, and he on his on domestic front was an auto expert, but on spiritual front he was very close to Almighty God, a saint. My father, take him as my godfather. So he, being a mentor, told me why is not any electrical engineering firm at Jalandhar. Okay, yes, there are small firms, but not very big firms. They cannot. So what is that small firm? And then I told him that there is Indo-Asian traders you see here at Pagoda Road. He specifically told, if I get you some placement, I mean, will you be ready to go? But they may not pay you. मैं पिताजी पे चले जाऊंगा, उसमें क्या दिक्कत है? घर भी तो बैठना है ना, माता जी की रोटियां खानी है, बनवा बनवा के वहां जाऊंगा. साइकिल मुझे चाहिए, साइकिल दे देना है. So I had a cycle 7 kilometers to go up, 7 kilometers down. Complying with the wish. तो मैंने वो जाना शुरू कर दिया. Indian Indo-Asian traders learning, they used to make small switches, CRT switches and all that, small Kit Kats, mechanical. But no, anyway, that was still a good experience. You see, knowing it, what is porcelain, feldspar, quartz, how they make and everything. Then after 5-6 months, I told him, you see, there's not much to learn. Now I want to change something. See, if you know somebody else at Jalandhar, I can, yes, I've got some other industry, but they make compressors and all that for air conditioners if you want to. So I shifted the second unit there at Jalandhar. Another experience of about 6 months, as good as after 1 year I had passed. Then there was an advertisement from Punjab State Electricity Board. They advertised the jobs for assistant engineers as well as apprentice engineers. And I applied for both. Since I had got the training and got that experience, though I was not paid for that period, you see, by the private concern. See, the Punjab State Electricity Board gave me the weightage. they appointed me as assistant engineer instead of putting me as apprentice engineer. That is the big advantage. So that advantage helped me in three ways. I got the job assistant engineer. Then that has a advantage that seniority. I got the seniority that I could end up as chief engineer. Otherwise, I would have retired as superintendent engineer. Then the third thing that it gave me the benefit while working in BBMB. See that experience which I got, or the training you can say I got in innovation traders or the refrigeration industry, which I'll tell subsequently. So this was exactly the way I entered SCB and requirement from BBMB. So immediately, yeah, PSCB people they shifted me to BBMB. I started working in BBMB. So the first my job was at Ludhiana, was maintenance lines and this schools, this job, which I did for 4 years. Then I put as a construction engineer at Ganguwal, a place near Ganguwal, Power House, a place near Rangan. And this was a challenging job. My first job was.
What was the biggest challenge as a construction engineer, sir?
Very, very challenging because they said this is the ground, open, empty ground, and you have to create a station, substation, 7 to 20 base. Then apart from that, you have to augment some transformers, and within 3 years you have to give us the substation.
Okay.
So the boys there, you were already posted there, the foremen and all that. They were really smiling. That how this thin guy you see and with not any experience will be in a position to a lanky guy, the thin guy. How will you complete make the Bijli gas substation? But anyway, I started that way. God's grace and Father, you see, I had that determination always with me. And the best thing is that I have always the spirit to create a teamwork, which has been the main force of my my success. But we started building up the project. So this was 7 220 kV base with ABCBs to be erected. Compressed supply was required. As our supply started coming from Switzerland, the compressor unit that was 8x6, it arrived at the site. And while the boys they were unloading, so it got hurt. You see, it got damaged, and some of the components got damaged. What happened then? The condenser unit also, which was giving cooling to the compressed air, was also damaged. Now we contacted because the target could not be changed. You see, it was time-bound target. Their supply from their powerhouse was to come to Ganguwal, and that was the area. Then some Bala base, Ludhiana base. Everything was very, very important for me. So what happened then? We contacted ABB. Samuel was the erection engineer. I asked Samuel what to do now. It will take 6 months. It has to come from this part from Switzerland. And you have to wait. There is no alternative but to wait for it. I told my bosses also likewise that this target is going to be UCB altered and create a problem. But meanwhile, I prepared myself. Okay, I'll accept this challenge. How to set it right.
Okay.
Called both of them. Will you be in a position to help me repair this? Let us take a rest. No problem. So they said, sir, if you will guide, we don't have much of experience, but if you guide, we'll do it. And okay, risk is yours. So I started working. I told them, okay, you bring me the bench wise because we were the beginners. They're also doing all this job. Bring the bench wise, bring the copper pipes, bring the silver plating rod. That experience, as I told, I had, you see, in that refrigeration industry. So I started working.
Okay.
We started repairing that. But I did not tell my boss with the fear that he'll bang me. He'll really, that how you have started, they are saying they will have it from Switzerland. So I built it up very successfully, and then I tested it to 150 kg pressure. We were very happy as a team, myself, my foreman, and my mechanic. We were very happy that we have tested it. Then I told my boss, sir, we have repaired it. he, instead of getting happy, he banged me very badly.
It
Why
happens.
you,
Happens in the government.
why you will put me down before the chairman or other people? How, when Samuel ABB is telling it is not repairable, how could you take it? How could you repair it? I said, but I have done it. Okay, you see, with all that anger and mindset, I am coming to the site and show me. Anyway, we again tested before it. It stood the pressure. I think, Rajesh, I'm not taking more time. You can curtail me somewhere. See if I get go lengthy because I'm in the habit of talking in lengthier tone. More.
Finally, you could complete the job.
So anyway, then what happened? Once we were through there, before my boss, he rang up to Samuel. Samuel again was upset that how could you do it at site? Yes, sir, we have tested. I've seen it myself. Now you believe. So Samuel came from Gujarat, Vadodara. This is Ramachandran Saab's company. So he came, Samuel. Samuel then tested, you see, with the half heart and all that. Okay, it was again successful.
Okay.
So then there was a clap from both of them ultimately. This young guy, without much of experience, he could make us through with the repair of the condenser. See, right. Anyway, other target was achieved. This is how we could take risk and all that. Challenge was accepted. One, then they gave me the second target that this is a transformer. You have to replace the transformer 132 by something 33 Gangual power house within 12 hours. So 12 hours this transformer has got to be. So okay, we started work in the morning at 6. There was a crane bay, Gangual power house. We could do it exactly because we had to restart the power supply to the area around that. So we could change the transformers. So many other jobs like that. So this is. But one question which I have to tell as a challenge for construction as a construction engineer. See, people sometimes more designers put the CTs, oil filled CTs and CVTs near the main trench. So which I am telling everyone not to install it. That is for designers also and for the erection engineer. Even if it is designed by the designers, they should put it back because what happened? The experience of BBMB once one CT exploded with oil, that oil went to it was probably Ghana, went to the cables and it caught fire. All substation was out for 4 5 days. And even my chief engineer told me I was at Ambala those days to arrange cables. Though I was having some ulcerous bleeding in my stomach that night, but still I arranged, remaining awake all throughout night, 3 trucks of cables. You see from the various stores I remember, Ambala, Jagadri, Balabgarh. So this is going to play a havoc. You see, but let us not try to to erect our oil field equipment near our this. So I think this part is there. So I move on to the next part. My second, since my rating was increased with the accomplishment of as a construction engineer, and the bosses around, you see, they said yes, this boy can do still bigger jobs. So what happened? I started getting offers. Once my job was completed as a construction engineer, I got my offer from the resident engineer. You can get the posting in my power house. I got an offer from superintendent engineer, Mr. Puri. You come to Dhulkot, Ambala. See, because they were having their own problems at the substation, leakage of oil in the imported transformer, Japanese. So I got a posting, my next posting to Ambala. So once I joined Ambala Dhulkot 220 kV station, this fly of Chandigarh is also fed from Ambala. So what happened? That again it was new experience because the first job as a operation and maintenance engineer. So once I started my journey as operation maintenance engineer, the first thing I could see that there is so many drawings and literature they were missing. The substation was commissioned as back as in 1955, and I joined in 77, 22 years. Many literature, the drawings. So that was the big job. Which see, and ultimately I have to advise everybody once you join a station, any substation or like that, a powerhouse, kindly see to it. You see, drawings are available, your literature is available because there's the thing you are going to refer in the case of your part and all that. So all those drawings, which I arranged some drawing from abroad, from local manufacturer, from other stations. I made a set of that. That was the first accomplishment of. The second focus was then I must have spare. Let us say I could imagine in my mind that let us say this breaker glass and I have this bushing, this transformer, this bushing glass. Do I have? So I would check all that from that angle, go to the store, see what spares are available,
Asset
what are
management.
not available. This was the management. This was very important. And the third thing, the challenge which I faced was that this substation was actually the equipment was supplied by Westinghouse US, all equipment. In our country, you see, as we know it, 1947, we didn't have many manufacturers. So the equipment of all left bank came from USA, Westinghouse, by and large. So even insulators, even breakers, 220 kV breakers, big tank type, all those came from USA. So what was happening? There were bus faults at Dulbor, repeated bus fault. So I could analyze the reason. Yes, what happens? You see, there are insulators on which conductor is resting, bus is resting. They get a crack, and ultimately during moisture days, when there is a rain, there is a blast.
Okay.
So I tried to analyze those insulators that they use, and I found there were certain cracks and all that. And as a young engineer, what I did, I drafted 4-page letter. I wrote to USA, Westinghouse, said, I went to my superintendent engineer, sir, this is the letter I've drafted. You please send under your signatures better because I'm a small person, nobody will recognize me. You are superintendent engineer. He sent that letter as such to, and then got a very beautiful reply. I still remember they could write Westinghouse people. Yes, we had an intensive meeting on your letter. So they worked out that what was the thing bad. Insulator supplied in 1955. See, I'm referring it in 77, 70. After 22 years, they replied, yes, there was a defect in this insulator. Put in the hardware at the back. We accept our mistake, USA. And but sorry, we cannot supply at this stage. We can replace it, the new insulator if you want. So anyway, we started taking precautions. So the bus fault, because once there was a bus fault, supply of Chandigarh was also interrupted, and we were getting a very bad name. This is how then we started making things better so far as our reliability of supply was there. So all these experiences, see, getting at that. Then came the turn of that the oil in the power transformers imported from Japan, 60 MVA, both was leaking for I think 5 to 7 years. They could not do somehow. I don't want to say, but they could not attempt. My predecessors handling it, and anyway, see, we try to see handle the transformer, those transformer, plug the leakages because leakages, as we know, is really a bad thing for the transformer. Everybody knows it. See, we try to plug it. So this is how the experience goes. That leakages in the transformers, even in the CTs, CVTs. So all these areas are really a vulnerable area. All my friends who are who are dealing with this subject, they know it well, and we have to take all precautions, all precautions. So Rajesh, just keep on telling me what is the next agenda. Now I'll cover up. Not getting voice. Voice is missing.
Sir, your experience as a chief engineer in the Bhakra Bangal.
Yeah. This is something really very valuable experience, Rajesh. Very valuable because joined there and there were 2-3 challenges. Exactly, Rakesh Naji was my boss, as you know him very well. So joining there as chief engineer, he told me, Mr. Wahi, that at Bhakra left bank and right bank, we are taking time for carrying out maintenance of the machine. I mean, annual maintenance. That is double of that what the other powerhouse people are taking at other places. So just see to it how you can reduce the time, because at right bank you are taking 40 days, left bank we are taking 30 days. The time is really not is much in comparison to the other norms. So there was another college working engineer. He was there. I told him, why we are taking 40 days? Why can't we reduce it? He says, sir, this is the minimum time we can, there's no way out but what to do it. Then I put on a question. We have got two powerhouses. One is the right bank, second is the left bank. And why don't, if you are putting your resources, I mean labor, for left bank to left bank only, why don't you, when you take a shutdown on left bank side, divert your people from the right bank also, let them collectively do a job together, and that will lessen down the time. And then he told me some hurdles, hurdles which were there at the site. But I told them these have got to be set aside, no problem. We took, because project is more important than small problems. So I forced it down. So they did it accordingly what I wanted it. And exactly the time you see on the right for maintenance of machine was reduced from 40 to 20 days. And likewise 15 reduced it as well. Then exactly extension of that, then Rikesh ji said, yes, you are looking after the Vyas project also at Pong. So kindly see to it to be similarly the time there also is reduced. So like we could reduce the time you see of maintenance to 50% there also. Then the second job was doing the renovation work at Vyas project. And this was the sixth machine. 5 machines had already been renovated because we had to upgrade the capacity from this is not renovation only, this is operation and renovation. So those are operated from 60 megawatt, 66 megawatt. Only last machine was there, which job was still to be done, and Mr. Krishna told me, you did. I asked him, because sir, how much time you want me to take? He said, yes, the earlier machines, they were done in first and second 150 days, then third, fourth, fifth 120 days. You know, you see to it. How much time will you? Okay, sir, okay, you give me 120 days. Let me see how much time I. And once he started the job, I told my superintending engineer that I'm coming to you tomorrow on tour, and let us decide how much time we can take, how much time we reduce for doing this job. I told him two parts. This is medium minor. Please do look after the majors. I'll see to it how I have to address the problems. So when I went on tour to him, I talked to him major areas where was the which were required to be attended for carrying out the augmentation job. So once that was done, after discussion of for 1 hour, I told on telephone to Rakesh Naji, sir, I have given the approval on your behalf, behalf to my we are starting the work. We want to accomplish this project as soon as possible. So Mr. Ji came to me at in my office and talked to me. Like I said, though I had asked for 120 days, 4 months time, but I'm going to complete it still in a shorter time. Let us say I do it in 350 days or something like that. But Rajeshji, what exactly I did it in 269 days against, no, sorry, only 69 days against 120 days. Wow. I reduced it to 2 months and 9 days, reduced the period from 120 days to 69 days. So what I want to convey here is there got to be determination with everyone, whosoever is a field engineer, whatever, because this is a challenge. The machine coming up helps the system. If I do it early, helps the system. So that was what was important, that we had to do this job. Third job, which was as a chief engineer, that parallelly the renovation work for machines on left bank, it was the board had taken a decision. Right bank renovation work, I mean operation work has already been done. They had raised the capacity from 120 megawatt to 165. All the 5 machines there was renovated by Russia and very successfully. I think there was all appreciation for Russians that did this job. Renovation work and the capacity was increased of all 5 machines for 45 megawatt per machine. Then came the turn of left bank 5 machines. The board had taken a decision. We see on the pattern we did that job. We'd like to augment the machine on the left bank also. So the parallelly, my colleague chief engineer operation, he had floated the tender. And once the tender had received, I was a part of the committee. Mr. Jain, who was my classmate also at Chandigarh, he, myself, the superintendent engineer, we all members started processing the tenders. So after the tenders were processed, you see, the recommendation came ultimately that this has to go to EHEL, VHEL people. And though we were having some apprehension, they also raised their hands up that we cannot do it lately. But the tenders have again to be floated the second time. Now, as on date, I checked out the position from the today from Mr. Parad. I'm telling you this story that the job of net bank of renovation augmentation work, we started in 2000. The seed was sown. Even today is not completed. Out of 5 machines, 4 machines are done up nicely. Of course, one from 90 megawatt to 126 megawatt. 4 machines, the job is done, but the fifth machine still is awaiting augmentation, the completion work, and the job is likely to be completed in October somewhere. As I talked to Mr. Brad, their superintendent. So what I wanted to see, yes, there are two parts. One is a good part of the story, the right bank we are talking. The left bank, as I think our accomplishment is not that happy and comfortable. So we have to be cautious taking all those decisions in augmentation and renovation. So this is the part I see there.
Now I would like to move to your experience as a CVIP.
Oh yeah, CVIP has been a very wonderful experience, Rajeshji. See, it was when I was about to retire from BVMB. My father, you see, being a mentor, he asked me, मुझे यार करके यार मैंने 71 साल से काम किया है प्रेम and I'll be happy if you do it up to 72 years.
Okay.
I told him, मैं क्या पिताजी, I'm too small a person. आप परमात्मा को embrace करते हो, इसी and मैं बहुत छोटा था, बहुत छोटी सी एक tiny सा बंदा. तो how डॉक्टर में होता, जब आर्किटेक्ट होता तो मैं 100 साल भी काम कर लेता. But who gives the job to engineers after 60 years or 58 years? 2 साल extension मिल जाए तो बहुत बड़ा एक. But I think behind his talk there was a blessing, and I told to him, he being a saint and a blessing, because one big thing about my father, I surely want to tell you, all 70 years of his life, all Sundays of his life, all 70 years, he was in satsang.
Wow.
He was in satsang, very close to God, and anything he would say from his mouth, that will be accomplished. So anyway, coming back to the subject, when I retired from BPM.
Yes, sir. We were talking about your experience in CVIP.
Oh yeah, when I was CVIP, my experience is a wonderful journey. Before that, I wanted to say when I was going to retire from BPM, there were 3 offers. Like so one Rakeshnaji wanted me, then some private company, then it was CVIP. So after serving a little in BVMB, the whole time consultant, I joined CVIP. Yes, the very heartening and good experience in CVIP for about 15 plus years. Exactly my endeavor has always remained that how we can enhance the activities of dissemination of knowledge, because knowledge is not, without knowledge nothing can happen. The country cannot progress, the professionals cannot progress, and it is, if we got an opportunity, we should do something.
Sir, what was
So,
the biggest challenge when you joined CBIP as a director? Because you wanted to give new height to CBIPs, you have to revive Sigre India. What was the biggest challenge, and how did you do that thing?
yes, this is basically what I want to say, Rajesh ji. Without the support of your co-mates, without the support of senior, without the support of friends like you, nothing can happen in life. And I always say that it was the blessing of our seniors in the power system, blessings of our seniors like Madha Prasad ji, Rakesh Nath ji, listen, like Jha Saab, like Sasmal Saab, like Midda Saab. I think these people, they were the anchors. These are the people who were supporting us always. See that to push it through. It was, I remember Madha Prasad ji unfortunately died. I went to Sasmal Saab and was in his room. We were standing with folded hands. Sir, you now take hold of, otherwise our boat will sink. See, of Sigre and he said, yes, Mr. Wahi, have you talked to Mr. Midda? Like, sir, he will surely join. But once you say yes, you see, he is going to join. So then he accepted our presidentship. Then Mr. Midda became the vice. What I want to say, it was blessings more of and guidance from Mata Prasad like person who would oftenly come to us, keep on guiding us, keep on boosting us. Rather than the best part is boosting us. We'll keep on spreading activities of CBIP and Sigre both. For example, Sigre. Then we started moving Sigre frequently and talking to the because if you take it, CBIP always take is basically dissemination of knowledge. There's the organization dissemination of knowledge at national level, and Sigre we take it as a platform for dissemination of knowledge at international level. So both are important for professions. So we try to in touch with the experts there at international level. As Mr. Constantine Papolio has been then became my best friend. So he came 6-7 times to take lectures, you see, to address the people in our transmission conference, transmission line conferences, being the chairman of transmission lines in Sigre. So this is how we generated friendship with the people in Sigre. Likewise, the cable chairman cable industry in Sigre. See, he became a friend. I invited him 4 times. Those people started coming to India, started giving help to us in dissemination of knowledge. Likewise, in our own country, we spread our wings. We try to increase our conferences in farthest corners, Sikkim, right, Guwahati, right, Bhutan. Even we went outside the country also, Bhutan, Nepal. Everywhere they were trying to see, like Hyderabad, like Chandigarh, like Uttarakhand. We tried to take the people so that the people they could come along and join CBI fold. And then beside that, that was my original idea. Then we start the doorstep training. We go to various projects. Let us say we and that is what I made an experiment one day. See, there was a call from an NHPC. There is our transformer is badly affected. We want our engineers to be trained. See, and you give them that training on protection. So we arranged it within 10-15 days. See, once that was successful, I asked my colleague, my younger colleagues, at least let us prepare a letter, address it to the whole country, ask them we are ready for doorstep training in the country. If there is any requisition, immediately training from Bangalore, and we started. And that thing, see, also helped dissemination of knowledge in a big way. And this is then other areas also which were possible. That was maintenance audit. Also, we started of power also. This was separate area. So this is how we started. And I can say, you see, if you want to measure how we increase the magnitude, when I joined, it was the attendance was hardly 30 people, 30 professionals. when I left it, it was 300, you see, participation,
Wow.
10 times increase of participation. So that was, I think, but we are really thankful to all the professions
Sir,
in the country, in the system, who helped us.
sir, I want to ask one question. How did the idea of bringing with new CBIP manuals come to your mind? That is very helpful thing, I think.
So what happened, CBIP manual, it was not the original idea I mooted, but it was, yes, at least we could also push through. During my tenure, I think when I joined the transmission manual, last was published in 1992, but tried this very important manual, the substation manual. I tried to push, I tried to create, I think, another 30 manuals during my tenure, because one manual takes a lot of time, sometime 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Not only that, once I went to Rajasthan, also got their IAS officer in charge as a chairman, Rajasthan State Electricity Board. He asked me, sir, would you like to help us in improving our manuals? So I brought the copy. See, we modified their manuals, sent them back. This is how we took the people along, but didn't charge them anything. See, once you help others, this is the people started coming with CBI. So this is how we've been trying to help the dissemination of knowledge in the country.
Final question related to the CBIP, the success story of CBIP as a knowledge dissemination platform, and how did you rope in legends across India and abroad also?
See, it's basically not I roped in. It's basically their blessings they flew to me. Rather, those people, they really helped us out, the CBIP. As I've already told you, these people were senior people, Mr. Jha, now the chairman Pargate. Now, chairman, this central executive, Mr. Rakesh, the central executive authority. Mr. Rakesh being president also of CBIP, and Mr. Rakesh Ji was very clear. Whatever national issues are there, let us say, those days there was a shortage of power, and the 11th plan and 12th plan, see, our planning in sector was going on. So he wanted this to be discussed in the bigger meetings at national level. So he will not put us on the job. Being the president, arrange a conference, you see, at Guwahati, arrange a conference at Delhi. Then he would bring Honorable Union Minister also there. So Honorable Minister Shinde Sahab was trying to rope in, you see, people at the level of minister with the help of our seniors like Rakesh Ji, like Mr. Jha. So they were the people on the driving seat. We were really the people helping them at the back and seeing that CBIP grows, and you see it has its reputation better than what it is. So
Now,
this was basically.
now time to move to the second part, second side of your life, personal life, family, and other social activities, and your future plan. Kindly give a brief about that.
Yeah, so it has been a wonderful journey, Rajesh, all my life. I'm so happy, so contented person. You see, I always, the first thing I've got my daughter in USA. Got she's physiotherapist, doctor working in USA with her husband. Is as IT engineer. Mr. Bhaskar, my daughter is Vidu, and my son is Arpan right now here with me. And he's the chief manager with Samsung.
Wow.
And my wife is really Kokila. She's with me, of course, at home, always helping me in all, supporting me in all my activities. So this about my. But what I wanted to say that I wanted. There should not be, I never wanted to be satisfied with the retirement. I definitely want, because this is the message I always got from my father. I don't want to end up, I don't want to sit idle after the breakfast in the morning. I don't want to sit down, see, read paper, newspaper, and this is not my objective. My objective, now I've reached the 76 this month, and my journey continued. 2 years private sector, 35 years BBMB, 15 plus years
Future
CBIB.
plan, your
I
future plan now?
came to sir.
Your future plan.
Yeah. But I'm just coming to that. Then I came to Chandigarh 2 years back. I asked my son, what should I do? I cannot sit like that. He asked his Papa, I've got a part, you make the construction. So I've just completed that house, very beautiful house.
Congratulations.
So thank you so much. So that is just, I'm just free. I've occupied on 2 hours this month. So now, exactly now, still I'm in pursuit of moving. I don't want to in search of some job. Don't want to sit idle at home because I had seen a video. I see somebody interviewing a person from Japan. That what is your age? 100 years. Uh, I think Rajesh, I'm not excelling the time. She just kindly correct me. I'll just take 1 minute. So he asked, yes, I'm. What has been your activity? I said 16 years I worked as a government job. 20 years, then I was a lecturer, 8 years.
Okay.
Then I was a guide. I was a guide in some like Taj Mahal area, 12 years, 92. 8 years, then I learned yoga and started teaching yoga to the people. So that is the spirit. I really like that video. So that is what I say. It's always good to be busy in life rather than yawning at home and with the newspaper and all that. So that is what my objective, and I feel thrilled to work. I always enjoy my work. I always in CBIP also used to tell my boys, just when I go, I get a thrill in the evening. As any painter has made a painting, and at the last he enjoys it. I come to CBIP, do my work, and the evening I get a thrill, go back, enjoy, have a cup of tea with my wife, enjoy my dinner and sleep. Then I come back. And now this is what is my personal life.
Now, very difficult to leave this very beautiful conversation, but I have to take leave. And before I say goodbye, I want to ask the last question of my dialogue. What is your piece of advice for the young engineers to follow and to grow?
Yes, you see, it is a derivation of what I was already telling you. I want young engineers to be very dynamic, very outstanding in their work, very innovative. Number one, I want their physical and mental health to be very, very sound. You can deliver only if you are physically and mentally. Right? My mother at 97 years is still mentally active.
Wow.
You see, this is what I want to convey to the people. Don't try to put yourself down. Try to work hard physically. Try to create good health. Try to create mental health, and try to work after retirement. Don't retire yourself. This is the third message. Don't retire. Try to work like me, as I've done work at 15, 16, 17 years now. I've not been idle, you see. And now I've made my house. All 500 days, I've not taken rest also. No Saturdays, no Sundays for me. See, this is continuously my son. My son had given me the car with the driver. In the morning, he used to come like my office. I used to go and get the concert. So this is what I want people to. And then the biggest message from my side is that my success never has been my success alone. It was because of my people around me, my team member. 100%. I vouch it. It was, if I got some awards from BBMB, R18 awards at the rate of, let us say, 1 award per 2 years. Let us say out of 36 years, 35 years. I want persons to get 1 award every year. I want them to create a team spirit, work hard, work innovatively, and try to come up and try to serve the nation as you were serving the nation. Right, JC? You are also still trying to help people, making them
now time to say thank you once again for accepting my invitation to be the part of this group. And yes,
thank you so much.
And I hope the young engineers will follow the footstep and the advice given by Honorable Respected Wahi Sahab, and they will try to grow and glow as Wahi Sahab has grown in their life. With that, thank you once again. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I feel honored. I feel very much honored. Thank you so much for your beautiful words, and thanks to all my brothers, professionals, all engineers, or other people who are listening me. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot for
Thank you.
today's wonderful discussion.